Yo, what's up? I'm doing what it says as a thumbnail, a Frutiger Aero build in Minecraft. I haven't made a video in almost 3 years. My friend convinced me to upload again, and I got this idea. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'll get into it now. Maybe what I'll do is I'll make areas on the ground that are like hills and stuff. Wait, wrong thing. I'll make areas that are like hills, and then I'll smooth it out. And that might be like, oh yeah, this might be a lot better. I think this is going to be a lot better. Alright, now that I have the landscape done, I think what I want to do is I want to start working on some rivers, little more mountains, and then I think it'll be good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the melt tool to plan out where I'm going to do the rivers, and then once I'm done with that, I'll just fill them all up. Alright, what I want to do now is I want to start working on some windmills, because I think that'll look pretty cool and match the Frutiger Aero aesthetic. So I'm going to get some quartz. I'm going to start getting to work on the windmills. Alright, I got the base done. I'm going to keep building up. So, quick little update. This is what I got so far. I think this is pretty good. It might be a little big, but I think it's alright. So I've been trying to figure out, like, how I'm going to do the windmill. I think this is alright. This part, it's a little fucked up. But I don't know, I'm just going to add the, like, the windmill parts. Okay, so I've kind of just decided I'm going to, like, do it manually. I think it looks, like, pretty alright, though. Alright, I got, like, all 3 propellers done. I don't really know how I'm gonna like make them thicker. Maybe I'll just do that by hand too. Alright, so I got the propellers done. They're a little bit thicker. I think it looks pretty cool. Alright, so I copied and pasted a few more. There's about 5 of them now. I kind of do plan on adding a few more, but this is good for now. Now that I'm done with the windmills, I do want to make the landscape a little better before I start making buildings. And I also want to add some mountains in the background. Cool, so I got the mountains done. I think I might add a few more in the back. This is looking pretty good. Alright, I think I got a little carried away with the mountain in the background. This thing is like giant. You know, I got a little windmill back here. Now I'm gonna start getting to work on the buildings. I made these 2 tiny buildings. I'm gonna make a few more, and then I'm gonna get to work on some bigger buildings. So I got a few more buildings over here. Put some trees on top. This one like waterfall one. Copied and pasted them a few times. These are kind of the like, these are gonna be smaller buildings. I want to do like a big one right here, I think. So I think this is like kind of the big building that is gonna be here. Has that cool tower that you see in some like Frutiger Aero stuff. I really like the lighting with like the frog lights and stuff. I think it looks pretty cool. I think I'm gonna do one more like 1 or 2 more big buildings, but it's gonna be pretty simple. Alright, so this is the other big building I did. It's kind of similar to the other ones, but it's like It's much longer, a little taller. Still looks a little bit empty. So what I'm thinking is I copy and paste these buildings a couple times. Alright, I think this is looking pretty full. Now there is one more thing I want to do, and that's to add bubbles. If you look at all the Frutiger Aero images, they always have like bubbles like in the sky and stuff. So I think what I'm gonna do, like the last final touch, is gonna be to add. I'm gonna use the sphere command to make like big bubbles in the sky made of glass. I think this is gonna be it. We have the bubbles, we have the windmills, and we have the city, and the river, and the landscape of mountains and stuff. Looks pretty Frutiger Aero to me, so I think this is where the build is gonna end. But I like what I did. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Thanks for watching.